So, today we're essentially going to be talking about two different things along the same subject, but it all equals up to the same thing. And that's going to be things that I do in my life to make more income for the month. And this is going to come into two chapters, of course. That's going to be making more income and things that I do to save that money. So, we'll jump straight into it. First up is basically, I know you guys have heard this one before, but there's some gems coming up. We'll start off easy though. eBay. Sell your old shit or marketplace flip it. Now, I've mainly had success with old like Xbox 360 games, technology that I've upgraded that I'm looking to cash back in on, like older GoPros when I'm upgrading to new gear. But you'd be surprised what you'd find around your house that people will buy. So yeah, get on marketplace, get on like the free groups, Gumtree, look at the free stuff and see what you can have a flip at. And you'd be surprised if you started with $100, buy a few items, get them up on eBay, get them up on marketplace. You will flip these things and make some money. Next up, we're going to talk about, I guess you'd call these minimum effort side hustles. I'm talking about what can you do for a few minutes a week. I've had success with a few different things, both of them based off the same thing, and that's going to be plants. So at one point during COVID, there were bugger all plants getting around, but heaps of seeds. So what I was doing was growing seedlings, and for plants like lettuce, tomatoes, whatever, they'd be 2 weeks old. You'd be able to sell these things for like $5-10 a piece. Mightn't sound like a lot, but when you've got 100 seedlings in and you're putting ads up on Facebook Marketplace, that stuff at the time was selling like hotcakes. Now, after COVID, it did die off a bit, but I was still making reasonable money. And to be honest, man, I'd spend 2 minutes of a morning when I got up. I'd water these, maybe a little bit more water again of an afternoon. I was making an extra $600-700 a month for bugger all. From here, nowadays, something that I do that's a bit more sustainable and generates a bit more profit is I've picked probably 2 or 3 types of plants or trees that I grow that take probably 3 months. But again, I'm only spending a minute or two per day. And you can sell these for $20 to $30 a piece every 3 months. So every week I whack in another 5 or 10 of these in pots. It probably takes like a meter by a meter on my front patio. Gets plenty of sun. And yeah, you'd be surprised. One idea is desert roses. I find those things sell super easy. So that's minimum effort side hustles. From here, we'll go into what I'd call, I guess, a home service side hustle. And this is the stuff you could grow into a business, but that's not what we're here for. I'm talking about on your weekend off. Mowing, gardening, they were always good. Another big one too is window cleaning. You can start window cleaning, man. You could literally $150. You got the tools to do it, and you will literally make that money back before the one day that you do it. Get on marketplace, get on Gumtree, put out there that just put it out there. Window cleaning of a weekend. Snag your first client on the weekend before you even buy the gear. Get down to Bunnings or Mitre 10 or whatever, get some gear happening, and make it work. So that's a couple of ideas on how to make the extra money. Ways that I save extra money would be use these apps, get amongst it. Like, I'm not talking about like the vouchers and all that, but mainly like your service station apps, like your fuel apps. For me personally, I use BP because that's the main service station in town. They've got like a points app where anything you buy in store, you get your points and they add up, and then you can use them as cash basically in the store. So I mainly use this for my fuel because I don't waste money at the servo buying snacks and shit for 10 times the price. But get in there, get some fuel happening. You'd be surprised to probably get a free tank of fuel every 2 to 3 months out of this. Again, not a lot, but all these little things add up. 7-Eleven have like a price lock thing where you can lock the price in for the next X amount of months. I do think with fluctuating prices, that makes quite the difference. Next up, we'll talk about restaurants. If I want a high quality piece of steak for dinner, I'm not going to a restaurant for it. I'm going to get charged $120 when I could literally spend $35 and make a perfect 3-course meal at home. It doesn't take much to learn how to cook a piece of steak. Just YouTube reverse sear steak. From here, we've got saving money. Man, use those grocery docket things. Such your specials out. Buy your 2-on-1s. It all adds up in the end. And collecting cans, like again, it doesn't seem like a lot, but essentially you pay that the tax or the fee on all those cans. If you buy a carton of Coke, yeah, you pay the extra 10 cents a tin, so you may as well try and get it back where you can. Something else, if you own a house or if you've got a rental, you can basically house hack. And that is where you get a person to rent a room out. The cost of rent everywhere, not even just in the cities, is crazy at the moment. I've seen like 2-bedroom units going for $500, $600, $700 a week. I can't fathom that. I don't know whether that problem stops, but point is if you have an extra room in your house, you can just furnish it, put a bed in there, get a second-hand bed in the cabinet, whack it in there. You could be making an extra $200-$300 a week, which is going to help you pay your own rent or pay your own mortgage off. So yeah, utilize that free space. And the last one's going to come down to just cost of living. Make your lunch. Man, just do leftovers or go, buy some groceries. It's not that hard. Like, I see people at my work that eat out every single day of the week. And sure, 18 or 15 days, $20, it doesn't sound like a lot, but if you're doing that shit 6 days a week, man, that's $120. You've basically worked half a day just to, do that all week. It just seems like a bit of a waste when you could make your lunch for $10, $20 for the whole week. So yeah, get into some meal prep, save some money. I just want to say thanks to each and every one of my subscribers. At the time of this, the account seems to be growing. We're at 14 subscribers. Doesn't seem like a lot, but it means a lot to me. So if you've taken the time out of your day to watch this video, thank you very much. Please feel free to like, subscribe, comment, and even click the link down below if you want to buy me a cup of coffee. Now, the one thing I will say though, when it comes to making extra money for the month, if you're only working 38 hours a week, I don't really know if that's enough to survive in this economy. I'm not going to be part of this whole Gary V work fucking 100 million hours a week thing, but if you can bump those hours up to 45, 50 hours a week and just get some overtime, it's easier than starting a side hustle. If the work's there, the work's already there, it's a way to spend the time, make the money, and it's less time that you're going to be distracted buying more subscriptions, buying, going shopping and just wasting your money. So get that overtime in. I know everyone doesn't want to spend the whole life at work, but put a few extra weeks in at work, just doing, 5-10 hours extra, and you'll be surprised how much that money will grow. If you haven't yet, go back through my channel, check out some other videos. Here's one up on screen now, and yeah, get amongst the channel. Alright, thank you for your time.